Hello, true duelists. My name's Greg Feet, and welcome to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Update. Nope, it's the new card report. She hangs out sometimes. You gotta respect Konami on the decision to just throw little one-off cards on Twitter when revealing things for an upcoming set, such as Phantom Nightmare. Just random shit on a Tuesday, like a one-off Earthbound card, or the flattest ass you've ever seen surrounded by an ungodly amount of horny posting. All the joys of Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards and so much more. Let's get to it on the new card report. EMP Grim Meowed. What a name for a card. Probably not going to be the official translation, but hey, apparently when IP throws a bomb, it's a Grimeowed. Anyways, this Dark Level 2 Cybers has 800 attack and 0 defense, and one of the most simple and generic summoning conditions I've ever seen printed on a card. Able to special summon itself from the hand, so long as either player has a Link monster on the field or in either grave. So, if they're playing Yu-Gi-Oh! You can summon this card. But wait, there's more. Because if this card is in your hand or in your graveyard, and a Link 2 monster is sent to the graveyard or banished, you can banish this card to then target and bounce a card the opponent controls. The obvious first question is, why does the grenade have a tongue? Yeah, that's right. I'm focusing on the actual grenade and not the background. The clear follow-up is, does making a Thatcher joke resonate with my audience, or do I need to really just come to terms with the fact that I'm still playing an 8-year-old game in my spare time? Good God, where has the time gone? Either way, what the fuck is this? IP into SP is already a phenomenal play for disrupting the opponent. We didn't really need this to make that play from, 2 disruptions to go to then 3. Because that summoning condition is barely even a condition. May as well say if the opponent has played Yu-Gi-Oh! Wow, it's like I forgot the script and said the first joke. Wow, that's incredible. Good for me for staying consistent when thinking of scripts, though. This is a fantastic little card. And don't take that to mean that I'm saying it's broken. It just does one thing and it does it quite perfectly. I don't really know how you could improve on it. It's generic, and being a Cybers means that something like Solemn can get a whole lot of use out of it. And look at that, its level is 2. So you know what that means? Sprite Blue. It's true. Just look forward to not only this being a secret rare because of comedy, but also welcome to the world where, :P is not just an emoticon from fucking MSN chat circa 2005, but also an archetype. What a timeline we're on. And going from a truly fantastic card to one that also exists, we have Enigmaster Packbit, a level 8 Water Cyber Synchro with 2900 attack and 2500 defense. It needs any generic tuner and one or more non-tuners to summon, and both of its effects have that cool hard once per turn. The first activates on this card's Synchro Summon, or if it is sent to the graveyard, which will let you target an opponent's face-up monster or card in your graveyard, discard a card, and then place that target and its owner's spell and trap zone as a continuous trap. And if it's treated as a trap, it has the quick effect to let it special summon itself face up, or any monster face up in the spell and trap zone. So basically, long story short, it's Centurion support. That's a Water Cybers because, I don't know, diversity. We already have enough Fire Cybers. There's not a reason for this. It just is. Who's to say what we're doing it all, okay? Why are the arms so thick is more of what I'm curious about, and why does it look like it's so short? Very stocky looking individual here. So many questions, all asked to avoid saying that, yeah, it's basically just a Centurion tech card. I know that the deck does have a lock if you're playing Centurion, but, maybe you won't have the Stratos comedy. It's a long-winded monster reborn for the deck, which isn't terrible, right? They all summon themselves from the spell and trap zone anyways, so, if it's sent to the grave or summon, you can target one of them, put them in, and you're good to go. Don't know if that's really what the deck needs, but it certainly is something that the deck now has. I've also seen a few people saying or asking, if you send this with like Nadir Servant or Dogmatica Punishment, can you put itself into the spell and trap zone and then summon it and get around having to synchro summon it? And no, you can't do that because the game will remember that you did not properly summon it, and if a monster from the extra deck is in the grave but it has not been properly summoned, it can't be summoned back. That's just basic game mechanic rulings that exist in a rule book you've probably never read. So there you go. Enjoy that, Centurion. Or enjoy this if you just don't care about the rules and feel like cheating and reporting it anyways. I do not condone or support that, but locals do be local sometimes, you know? And because they can, Konami has also given us Master of Ham, a level 5 Earth Beast Fusion with 2100 attack and 1850 defense that will need any 2 beast monsters as fusion material. And what does this edgy Redwall looking character actually do? Support flip monsters, obviously, because on fusion summon or when this is flipped face up, this card can summon any flip monster from your hand or deck in face down defense position, just for free. And when it's in your grave, you can banish 2 flip monsters from your grave or face up on your field to summon this card from the grave in defense position face down, but it'll be banished when it leaves the field. Now, when I saw this, my brain immediately went, oh wow, super mega nimble hamster support, because I have a single brain cell and it works on overtime and Edison exists. It's just your brain on Edison, folks. It affects you. Beyond that, it's support for any flip deck that's, you know, playing instant fusion, because instant fusion's a card and this is level 5. The most obvious deck would be a beast deck playing the raccoon package of Panpoco and Ponpoco, that guy. And you know, you don't need that one of instant fusion for it, but historically the best flip decks, or best flip deck, Shaddoll, really doesn't need this, because if it wants to get cards from the deck, it typically just uses them with Shaddoll Fusion, you know? They already have that going on. Shoutouts to Shaddoll Fusion. Overall, I give this generic super poly tech that will kill any beast deck in the future an 8 out of 10, for no reason beyond it simply having the name Ham. Up next, we've got a new generic counter trap as well, Iron Thunderside. This will let you pay half your life points when a spell, trap, or monster effect is activated on the field to negate and destroy that card, and then destroy all cards in the same column where that card was negated in. What if Solemn Judgment was bad? Behold. I suppose I'm kidding. It's not bad, but there really isn't much reason to play this over Judgment. Judgment can also negate a summon, and it looks cooler. And this gets funny if they play in the same column, and that's about its one, you know, perk. Unfortunately, this card has come out after the existence of things like Mech Knight, or more prominently, Infinite Impermanence. And I feel most players are already keeping their cards spaced out in the 5 columns, not really clumping them up. That's not to say you'll never blow up extra cards with it, it just means that it's going to be rare, and if it hits once, a decent player will be able to appropriately play around it moving forward. The good people of the internet say that this is super secret Dinomorphia support because it pays half your life points. I don't know or care as to how true that is, but I feel like the reason that this isn't really going to see a whole lot of play is that ultimately you don't choose which column's exploding. Because if you space your cards out, or if they activate the card that you want to negate in a column that's like got one of your monsters you'd rather keep on the board, if you use this and negate that card in that column where it's the same monster, then you lose your monster. So it's like, you don't have a choice of which column's exploding broadly, because if it's a must negate card, you must negate it, and then that column is going with it. So the fact that you don't really get a say in it makes me feel that it's yucky, and therefore it's mid, and therefore it's bad. And because it's the grab bag video, have a random fusion spell for the Earthbound archetype. Earthbound Fusion is a quick play spell, with the stipulation that if there's no face-up field spell, it can only be used during the main phase, which is a neat lore aspect. This can summon any dark fusion monster using materials from your hand or field, which is a quick play semi-generic fusion spell, so it's not bad. It can also banish itself from the grave during the main phase to summon an Earthbound monster from your hand or graveyard, but will lock you into only summoning fusion or synchro monsters from the extra deck. Truthfully, I can't think of a single card that would, or like deck that would be trying to abuse this, because all the decks that I can think of that would fusion summon a dark monster to have impact already have the means to do so. Yeah, like Shaddoll Winda exists, but so do El Shaddoll Fusion and Schism. Dark World already have their discard fusion spell, and what other decks truly matter? Why does the Earthbound specific part like act as the part that locks you? Like, it doesn't matter, they already have a lock, and that's the only cards they're summoning 9 times out of 10 anyways, I suppose, but it's like, why do you need to lock it into only those 2 when it's already locked into Earthbound by summoning an Earthbound? I just don't get it. I suppose it's because Link monsters are forbidden from the Nostalgia deck. And last up is Prisoner Princess of Fruitful Flames. A Fire Fiend Link 3 with 2700 attack and some Nightmare Unicorn-ass arrows. It only needs 2 or more effect monsters as material to summon, but while it's on your field, it will lock you into only special summoning fire monsters. To make up for it, it will let you just summon any fire monster from your graveyard for free during your main phase. So that's nice. And if it's in your grave and the opponent special summons a monster, you can target a fire monster you control and one monster your opponent controls, destroy them both, and then summon this bad girl out from the grave. Hot damn. Look at that Fire King support just printed willy-nilly. That's a really solid card for like every single fire deck though, broadly. Salamangreat can use this because it enables link climbing and it rewards the deck with pop and summon. You know what I mean? Like you can just go into your new Salamangreat Link 4 and then this is in the grave and then you can pop one of your things and boom, and I don't know, it seems decent. It's not like it's bad in other decks though. Infernoble or Volcanic and maybe even Rescue Ace, they can probably find room for it. It's not an outlandish fit into the deck. What a way to cap off the year of fire though. A damn strong card. I, of course, love it because it's generic fire support. And initially I saw this card's art in a tweet because I guess this is part of a Master Duel card that's coming out at the same time in the Master Duel and the OCG. It's like the first ever card to do that on October 30th, I believe is what I've heard. So that's interesting, but when it got like leaked and there was speculation about what it was, and there was one person who was insistent that it was branded. And I was like, yeah, okay, it vaguely looks branded-esque. That could be plausible. And that's fine in and of itself, but then other people were like, it looks somewhat like Underworld Goddess, and I'm like, sure, I'm not spending a whole lot of time here. But then the branded player just kept going in and saying no, and it could only be branded. So there's a personal level of satisfaction to me that not only is it not branded in any way, shape, or form, but branded can't even fucking play it. That brings me a certain level of, I don't know, catharsicism? Is that a word? Who fucking knows? You know what I knows? I knows that it's time to goes to the sponsor of today's video. Shoutouts, as always, go to the LIFD Magnetic Display, the best way to support my channel currently and the true duelist approved way to show off your favorite cards. Like all 3 of those blue eyes that you have kicking from starter deck Kaiba back circa 2002 that's somehow against the will of every child playing in 2002 aren't in terrible condition. Not mint, you know, they got that TCG player near mint, you know what I'm saying? But they're good enough to get on display and be like, yeah, that looks good, it looks solid. I also remember the most iconic card from the game. Great talk for non-Yu-Gi-Oh people. Or you can put whatever card you want in there. Like maybe you also bought the Pokemon 151 collection set and then only pulled the Special Art Squirtle as the one $20 card of value for your $100 and some odd pack. That's, I love cards. I love displaying them. Either way, thanks to LIFD. Use the promo code if you'd like. Support me, help you to a discount, Yugioh Strats 15, or click the link in the description of this video. Thanks to LIFD for the support, as always, and of course, thank you for watching. So that'll wrap it up for this new card report. Just going over some of the new cards in this one. The regular update will be out on Friday, as usual. Until then, I've been your host, whatever I said at the beginning of this video, and make sure you subscribe to Yugioh Strats to impress your smoking Italian wife, and so you too can be a true duelist. I'm just gonna keep looking up. Never, it's just, that's it. Never gonna lower, nope. There he goes.